Hi, I'm Enchanting Nubianette. Welcome back. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Today I'm going to talk about the importance of having self-discipline and even patience because this is a jaw-dropping case that involved a man who was arrested over horn honking. So in Ohio, a motorist, he was arrested not only for horn honking but harassment and other dangerous actions that he did. So the man's name is Seth Schulter. Not sure if I'm pronouncing his last name correct. He's 30 years old. He was arrested on July 11th. So the incident began where a woman who was driving behind him honked her horn after he stopped his car in mid-road. I'm not sure how many times that she honked. I'm not sure if she yelled anything out when she honked, um, or if she, refused to go around the car and cause a commotion. But according to authorities, Seth, who had his young children in the back of his vehicle, mind you, he allegedly followed the woman to her home. Now, a person who's rational, if a person honks at you, you're going to be annoyed, yes. You know, you may say some word to them. In these days, like I said, you need to express discipline and patience and try to avoid those things because you don't know who that person is or what mindset they have. So, again, he has his young children in the car. He went to her home and he confronted her. Then he allegedly assaulted her husband. He had the nerve, everyone, on top of all this, to enter her home with his children, and he caused property damage. He damaged things in her home not belonging to him. He had no right to be there. He wasn't invited in there. He doesn't even know if they had anything to protect themselves with in their home. Then, after he caused a lot of damage, he fled with his kids. Now, the woman's husband was treated for minor injuries at the scene, but the perpetrator, Schloter, Seth, I'll call him, he was later found at a convenience store. Now, if you did such a crime like this and you had your children with you, which is an endangerment to the children because those children could have been harmed, definitely, you never know what type of retaliation he could have been met with. Instead of him going straight home, he went to a store. So there, thankfully, he was caught. I'm really happy about that. He was arrested without bond. So now he faces charges. Listen to this list, everyone. It includes aggravated burglary, assault, endangering his children, aggravated menacing, sorry, not medicine, menacing, and operating a vehicle under the influence as well. Horrible. All because someone honked at him. Now again, if he was rational, he would have been annoyed, but he would have went about his merry way with his children. But he wasn't rational. Not sure what his mental history is, but it doesn't seem as if he had his mental, you know, he wasn't mentally equipped. He wasn't thinking normally at all, especially someone who should be responsible for having children. Now, there's another case I'll highlight as well that happened in upstate New York, Troy to be exact, where a man, his name is Matthew Edwards, he filed a federal lawsuit after he was arrested for honking his horn at a police officer. Now, the police officer was at a at a green light. It was red, changed to green, and his police car didn't move. So this man honked his horn. Now, if it was me, first of all, I try not to honk at anyone, but if it's a police officer, I definitely would not honk. I would put in my indicator light on and then go around their car and go about my business. That's all. So all the charges were later dismissed, and the lawsuit alleges that there was a false arrest, excessive false, malicious prosecution, and civil rights violations. And a case management hearing is set for this October, on the 1st of October. So in this case, this man basically honked his horn at a police officer, and that police officer didn't follow the rules. I don't know if he had a bad day or not, but he arrested someone just for that. And unfortunately, this man had so many charges, which I'm sure impacted his life in many ways. Most likely with his family, with his job, stress, money matters when, dealing with the courts, and even having a record for that short time. But thankfully, the charges are dismissed, but he still has that memory. So I'm going to say this again. Those who are driving, be safe. Do not put yourself in any jeopardy. Just, think of having a peaceful day, doing as much as you can not to have any interference, not to have anything escalate when it comes to interacting with anyone, whether you're driving, whether you're walking, whether you're taking mass transportation. Do not poke the bear. Do not agitate or provoke someone, because you don't know what their mindset is. And if someone isn't thinking rationally, if someone has mental issues, it's going to cause a huge amount of trouble that you could have avoided. So be the bigger person. Humble yourself. And even if you're in the right, don't even go there. When they go low, you go high, period. So everyone, thank you for watching. Please comment, what would you do in this situation? What is your feedback? Please like, subscribe, and share this video. And stay safe wherever you are. Thanks for watching.
Ticketed for beeping their horn at a traffic light before, but that was just the beginning of this story that might wind up in front of a federal jury. It was 5 o'clock in the evening, July 19th, 2024. Matthew Edwards was about to arrive home from work, but when the traffic light at the corner of 3rd and Madison Street in South Troy turned green, the car in front of him didn't move. It happened to be a Troy police car with an officer, Taylor Gamache, inside.
The light was red, and then it turned green. The officer in the patrol vehicle didn't notice. Maybe he's doing official work. Maybe he's looking at his cell phone. Who knows?
When the officer turned left, Edwards rerouted.
Mr. Edwards doesn't like the vibe that he's getting, turns off his turn signal and goes straight, circles around the block to go back to his house.
When Edwards got home, his garbage cans were in the street, and so he got out of his car to wheel them in. That's when Officer Gamache pulled up with body cam rolling.
It's not harassment. It's harassment. You are around that whole block. That's right, sir. You're unlawfully using your horn.
Anything wrong? You are harassing me at this point.
If you're not going to be compliant, you're going to be detained.
Minutes later, backup arrived from Troy Police and a Rensselaer County Sheriff's deputy. Edwards asked to speak with a supervisor, but instead he wound up being tackled to the ground and in handcuffs, charged with illegally tooting his horn, parking too far from the curb, and resisting arrest, charges that were all later dismissed by a Troy City Court judge. But the damage had been done, according to Art Frost, and he said it's permanent.
Well, he has a badly injured arm that required surgery. He's going to need probably future surgery. He is somehow forcing himself back to work because it's been a year. The man has to eat. He had to go back to work in some fashion. He can't work to the capacity he used to, but he's got to do something.
Hey! Attorney Art Frost, who provided that body cam footage for us, wrote in his legal brief, the defendant Gamache undertook his actions with evil motive or intent and with reckless or callous indifference. I did reach out to the mayor's office today for comment. I was told that because it is pending litigation, they cannot comment. The entire video, by the way, is posted on our website, WNYT.com.